the blazing Cretaceous desert, a small horn-faced survivor defies extinction. Protoceratops, the first horned face, lacked the towering horns of Triceratops, yet forged the blueprint for a dynasty of giants. Across desert storms and battles with Velociraptor, it fought not with size, but with will. Buried in golden sands and reborn through legend, this little titan bridged myth and science, the true ancestor of thunder. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from and which ancient creature captures your imagination. Now, step into the ancient past and reveal the secrets of a vanished era. Your journey begins in the vast arid landscapes of the late Cretaceous, about 75 million years ago. Before you, a herd of sturdy, sheep-sized dinosaurs moves, and you focus on one individual with its impressive head. It carries the scientific name Protoceratops, meaning first horned face. However, upon closer inspection, you notice a curious detail. It lacks the large brow horns or the long nasal horn that made its famous later relative, Triceratops, an icon. Instead, you see only a prominent bony bump on its snout and a frill beginning to flare from the back of its skull. This isn't a contradiction. It is the very heart of its story. This creature isn't the first because it was the most formidable, but because it represents a foundational chapter in Ceratopsian evolution. You are witnessing a living blueprint. That beak-like mouth and bony shield are the raw materials from which nature would sculpt the legendary horned giants. Its name is a title of ancestry, a recognition of its pioneering place in a grand dinosaur dynasty. Its face is a living prologue to an epic tale written in bone. You step closer, your focus narrowing on that remarkable skull, the very feature that defines its lineage. The beak, sharp and deeply curved like that of a colossal parrot, seems almost too severe for a herbivore. It isn't for delicate grazing. It's a powerful tool, a biological set of shears designed for business. You can almost hear the sharp snap it would make as it sliced through the toughest of cycad fronds or woody shrubs. Behind this formidable beak, you see the flare of its powerful jaw muscles, anchored to a skull that is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. Your gaze is then drawn upward, past its large, intelligent eyes, to the signature feature you noted earlier, the frill. In this individual, it's a solid sheet of bone, flaring backward from the skull, creating a broad, imposing shield. It's not the armor-plated, spike-studded fortress of its later relatives. In fact, it seems somewhat delicate. This has led scientists to wonder about its true purpose. Was it a shield? Perhaps not a very effective one. More likely, it was a billboard. Imagine it flushed with vibrant colors, a dazzling display to intimidate rivals or attract a mate. This frill was also the anchor point for those immense jaw muscles, giving its bite incredible force. And just below the eyes, you notice sharp, bony projections, the jugal horns, giving its face a wide, almost fierce look. This creature's head is a perfect marriage of function and flair, a powerful food processing machine that also served as its primary mode of communication, a silent language spoken in the shape and, quite possibly, the spectacular color of bone. You pull your gaze from the individual animal, widening your perspective to drink in the world it inhabits. This is not the humid, fern-choked swamp often depicted as the universal dinosaur habitat. You are standing in the heart of what will one day be Mongolia's Gobi Desert. approximately 75 to 80 million years ago. Before you, a vast sea of rust-colored sand dunes rolls toward a distant, hazy horizon, their crests constantly being reshaped by a warm, persistent wind. The air is dry, carrying the scent of dust and the sharp, resinous perfume of the hardy plants that dot the landscape. This is a world of stark and dramatic beauty, a semi-arid floodplain where life is dictated by the sun and the rare, life-giving rains. You can almost feel the intense heat of the midday sun and imagine seeking shade alongside these creatures in the shadow of a rocky outcrop. You might catch the flicker of a fast-moving lizard darting for cover, or the cautious rustle of a tiny fur-covered mammal, a distant ancestor of our own, hiding from the Cretaceous sun. This challenging landscape is the very crucible that forged Protoceratops. Its stocky, powerful build was perfect for trekking across sandy terrain, conserving energy on long journeys between scattered oases and feeding grounds. The seasonal monsoons you can imagine on the horizon would have briefly transformed this parched world, triggering a frenzy of growth and providing the sustenance for these great herds. This sandy, windswept kingdom was not merely a backdrop. It was the sculptor that shaped its evolution, demanding the very adaptations: the powerful beak, the herd behavior, the nesting strategies that made it the master of its domain. The arid world you've just surveyed offers little in the way of soft, easy meals. You watch as one of the herd lowers its massive head, not to graze on tender shoots, but to confront a low-growing, gnarled plant that looks more like a woody shrub than a meal. Its diet is a direct reflection of this harsh environment. The vegetation here consists of tough cycads, primitive flowering plants, and other fibrous flora that would be inedible to a less specialized animal. You now see the purpose of that formidable beak you examined earlier. With a swift, powerful movement, it hooks a thick stem and, with an audible snap, shears it clean off. There is no delicate plucking here. This is an act of biological machinery. That beak was the first step in a highly efficient processing system. Once inside its mouth, the real work began. Hidden from your view are rows of specialized teeth, packed tightly together to form a dental battery. As its jaws worked, these teeth would slice past each other like a guillotine, chopping the tough plant matter into a more digestible pulp. Hollywood often gets this wrong, depicting all herbivores as gentle grazers in a lush paradise. The reality for Protoceratops was far more rugged. Its entire skull, from the tip of its beak to the anchor points on its frill where those immense jaw muscles attached, was built to generate incredible shearing force. It was an animal that didn't just survive on the tough vegetation of its desert home. It was precisely and perfectly engineered to conquer it. As you observe the herd's feeding habits, you become aware of a deeper, more complex dynamic at play. These animals are not solitary wanderers. They exist within a structured community. The air is filled with their low grunts and bellows, a constant stream of communication that holds the group together. Your eyes are drawn to a sheltered basin amongst the dunes, a place of great importance. Here, the sand is pockmarked with dozens of circular, bowl-like depressions. You are looking at a communal nesting ground, a prehistoric nursery. This incredible scene, frozen in time by the fossil record, provides one of the most intimate glimpses into the life of any dinosaur. Paleontologists have discovered these very nesting sites, with clutches of eggs arranged in neat, circular patterns, suggesting a level of care and intention. You can almost feel the communal energy of the place, the adults standing guard while others tend to their nests. But the most profound discovery lies within one of these fossilized nests. The skeletons of a whole group of juvenile Protoceratops, all seemingly from the same clutch. Critically, they were not hatchlings. They had clearly grown for some time within the nest's protective confines. This wasn't a case of hatch and abandon. This is powerful evidence for extended parental care. You can easily imagine the adults bringing food back to their growing young, protecting them from the ever-present dangers of the Cretaceous desert. You are not just watching an animal. You are witnessing the intricate workings of a prehistoric family. The relative peace of the communal nesting ground you've been observing is a fragile thing. Life in this Cretaceous desert is an intricate dance between survival and predation. Suddenly, a flicker of movement on a nearby dune crest catches your eye. It's low to the ground, fast, and unnervingly intelligent. A shadow detaches itself from the landscape, and you see the predator for what it is. A feathered hunter. This is Velociraptor, but not the oversized movie monster of popular culture. This is the real deal. A clever, turkey-sized predator armed with a deadly, sickle-shaped claw on each foot. You watch as it isolates a lone Protoceratops that has strayed from the main group. The attack is a blur of calculated violence. The raptor leaps, its fearsome claw slashing toward the herbivore's vulnerable neck. But you are about to witness why Protoceratops is no easy prey. This is the climax of an evolutionary arms race, millions of years in the making. Instead of panicking, the stocky Ceratopsian fights back with astonishing ferocity. As the raptor strikes, the Protoceratops lunges, snapping its powerful beak shut on the predator's outstretched arm. You can almost hear the bone crunch under the immense pressure. The two are locked in a fatal embrace, the raptor's claw embedded in its prey's throat, the herbivore's beak crushing its attacker's limb. In that very instant, the unstable dune beneath them gives way. A sudden, suffocating avalanche of sand buries them both, freezing their final desperate struggle in time. It's a scene of such violent, perfect poetry that it will one day be unearthed as one of the most famous fossils in the world, the fighting dinosaurs. The incredible tableau of the fighting dinosaurs, buried for 75 million years, is just one chapter in this creature's amazing story. For millennia before modern science, the winds of the Gobi Desert would have periodically uncovered these strange bones. Imagine being an ancient Scythian gold miner, stumbling across a fossilized skeleton. You would see a powerful, four-legged body, a sharp, bird-like beak, and a magnificent frill flaring from its neck, which could easily be mistaken for folded wings. You might have just found the remains of a griffin, the legendary guardian of treasure. It's a captivating thought that this very real dinosaur, with its parrot-like beak and elegant frill, likely sparked one of our most enduring myths, its story echoing through antiquity long before we knew its true name. Then, in the 1920s, a new kind of explorer arrived. Monumental scientific expeditions ventured into the Gobi, and what they found was a paleontological treasure trove. They unearthed not just scattered bones, but a complete life story written in stone. Nests filled with clutches of eggs, skeletons of tiny juveniles, and entire herds of adults. This wealth of fossils transformed Protoceratops from a mere specimen into one of the best understood dinosaurs. It provided the first definitive proof that dinosaurs laid eggs and offered compelling evidence for complex social behaviors. Its legacy, therefore, is twofold. It is both a creature of myth that fired the ancient imagination and a cornerstone of modern science that opened a window into the lost world of the dinosaurs. The echoes of that ancient world now begin to fade, the vibrant scenes of the Cretaceous desert receding into the mists of deep time. The journey you have taken, walking alongside the first horned face, leaves you with a profound sense of connection to a world so alien, yet governed by the same drives for survival, family, and dominance. The sands of the Gobi still hold untold secrets, whispering tales of a planet you have only just begun to understand.